Evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here, playing some more Tharsis. In my first video, I explained how to play the game, and I played the first couple of rounds. In this video, I'm going to go ahead and continue the game that I started, because why waste a good game? So we're picking our side project here. We just survived the second round of 10, and we have to choose to either have everybody get a bonus health, but these two crew members lose a die, or I can add an extra section to the hull and get everybody in the crew plus 10 stress. Now, I didn't mention this in the rules video, but everybody has this left area here where it measures how much stress they have. And if a crew member's stress gets all the way up to 100%, then they start going crazy and doing bad things. Now here, I really don't want these two characters to lose any dice. I really just don't like losing dice. It is good, however, for everybody to gain health, because we haven't seen any of those injury events yet, but they're coming. And they can be brutal. Sometimes if you get unlucky during one of the events that has an injury die, you might just roll 2 copies of that die, and then suddenly your crew member is kaput. So here, we're taking on stress, which isn't that big of a deal, to gain a point of hull, which also isn't that big of a deal. Here, we're getting a potentially better benefit in exchange for a potentially devastating... Not devastating, but like a potentially devastating, or not devastating, a potentially negative effect. I won't, however, pick this, though, because what I can do now is I can actually use some of my food surplus. The mechanic had 3 dice, which you don't want to give someone food when they're down to 3. But when they're down to 2, it's perfect. I can just go ahead and give him that and fill him right up. And then everyone else is doing pretty well. Again, we have that tough situation with Allison missing 2 of her dice. Do you give her a food to gain 2 dice and miss out on some absolute value, or do you just have her taking a subpar turn, or do you make sure that the upcoming turn is a good one? Note that when you are in the mission area, in the event phase up here, it does indicate to you like what's coming up next. So I should have known that there were going to be 3 incoming events, but I think I'm standing by my choice here of not giving her that food, because we might need it later on. Okay, so we've got 4 different events here, which is unfortunate, because everybody needs to take on 1 event in order for me to be able to fix them all. And, it's pretty likely with all these stasis, and there's our first void effect, is that, it's going to be difficult to actually get all these events to happen. On top of that, we got some more everybody loses a die events, which is something I could potentially deal with by just, using food and the captain's ability, but it'd still be nice for that stuff to, not happen. All right. How do we start this event? In the previous round, I elected to fix up a bunch of hull instead of finishing this event. So now the mechanic, I really don't want him to throw 5 dice in this event here, because this is such an easy one to fix, and he's got the most dice. So he's the person I'd want to have, attacking another more difficult event. I could have the doctor go here with her 4 dice and finish up this event, and maybe also heal up the mechanic. This is a more challenging event, so 4 dice should probably be able to get up to a 10, and that might allow me to heal up the specialist, who is more in need of healing than the mechanic is. So I can also have the captain actually go here and then give the specialist an extra die. The problem with that is that if I have the captain go here first, then I lose out on the potential for the doctor to get an extra die. On the other hand, what are the odds that the doctor's going to go here and then the captain will come in right after her? Pretty much 0, because I'm probably going to try to fix up some of these events. So yeah, what we'll do is we'll have the captain try to give the specialist an extra die, so she's rolling 4 instead of 3, while if I'm lucky, also fixing up this event. My rules video ended up being a pretty good one, because it actually had me getting very lucky in some cases, but also very unlucky in others. And this is one of those cases where, again, I'm a little bit unlucky here, because I could spend everything to repair, but then I'm not getting to use my class ability. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually just going to go ahead and reroll all these dice. The 4 is a bit of a risky reroll. Actually, I'm going to hang on to that 4. We'll see what happens. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just reroll these 2 dice. I'm hoping for, some 5s or 6s so that I can actually fix this up without investing too much. This is annoying. So right now I could spend all 3 4s to fix this. If this was a 2, I could spend these 3 things and then re-roll the 4. But unfortunately, my choice now is, well, I can't re-roll anymore, is to either spend these 3 4s and repair this, or not repair it at all. And unfortunately, I could not get to use my class ability, which you can't like combine the 4 and the 1 here. It has to be 1 die of 5 or higher. So you can see I got some luck coming my way, but also some bad luck. We'll go ahead and spend these 4s to fix this event. And the 1, by the way, does not unfreeze, but we will go ahead and apply it to a research project. Right now, there's nothing super great here, although maybe I will use the small kit just to heal up somebody who's on the brink. Okay, so Allison unfortunately still has just her 3 dice. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to have her go to the easy event because she has the fewest dice, and we'll hopefully be able to fix this thing up. I just need to get a 7. Wow, that was pretty rockin'. So we have some choices here. I could spend 2 5s and repair 2 sections of a hull and leave this event at a 1. That would kind of commit somebody to coming in here next time. I really don't feel like doing that. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to fix this damn thing and put a 6 into research. So we have a couple of research points and finish our deployment. Now the mechanic is free to move. Remember, if you move out of or through an area that has an event in it, you take a damage. We'll have him attack this event. And the reason for that is, first of all, he has 5 dice, so he's the most likely to be able to fix it. But the other thing is that this event might not go well because a 4 disappears and 2s and 3s get frozen. So there's a decent chance that he's actually not going to succeed at this, in which case I would rather have the doctor come here and stop this event and have the other event go through than have this event with its 3 hull damage go through. So hopefully we get some 5s and 6s. Oh my, oh my! Woof, so that die goes away, but wow, that was some pretty damn good rolling. So we're going to go ahead and fix the event. And now this 6, we have a couple different options with it. I can either do this and make it so that for the next turn, there's no movement damage. So you can move into and out of event rooms without taking a hit. It's not that great. I can roll it to hope to get a 2, 3, 4, or 5 so I can apply it to a research project. Or I can simply do this and get an extra hull point. I'm going to go ahead and go for the extra hull point here because I feel like we're going to want that flexibility later on. That uses up all the mechanics dice and his deployment is finished. Now, the doctor's going to go here. There's only a stasis of 2 here, so the doctor's a pretty decent chance with 4 dice of being able to get up to a 15. If not, you know, then she can maybe spend a 5 and reduce some stress or heal herself a little bit. We'll see what happens. Okay, so right here, we managed to actually avoid throwing any 2s, so nothing is in stasis. I do have 9 plus 4 is 13. It's not enough to fix the event. So what I'm going to do here is commit the 4 and the 5, because those are each above average, and re-roll the 1 and the 3, hoping that my 2 dice together add up to a 6. Alright, that was a little close, but it worked, and I think that fixing the event to stop everybody from losing a die is more valuable than anything else that I could possibly get. So we're going to go ahead and finish that. You'll notice that in this game, I have been just going around and fixing the events, but again, you can't just play Tharsis that way. Sometimes you have to let the events go because you can get better things by doing it. Okay, so here we have an interesting option. We can actually give... Oh god, I did not want to do that! I did not want to do that. Okay, so I took some hull damage to give an extra die to a couple of people, which I didn't actually mean to do. And I forget what the other thing was. I think I might have actually wanted to do the other thing. Whoops. Okay, let's talk about another mechanic that's come up here. Cannibalism. According to the story of this game, before the first round happens, the ship gets badly damaged, 1 crew member is ejected into space, and the other crew member dies aboard the ship. And you can cannibalize that crew member's body. Now, when you do cannibalism, it has a couple of effects. First of all, the character who eats the meat, the human flesh, gets a significant amount of stress. It doesn't say how much stress. It's just a lot. It's not quite half, but it's a pretty big chunk. So you have to watch out for that because you don't want to send them into space madness. You also lose. They also lose 1 piece of maximum health. So if I were to feed it to the captain here, the captain's maximum health would decrease from 6 to 5. Also, their dice change for the rest of the game and are these like bloody things. Also, if you care about score, cannibalism lowers your final score at the end of the game. Now, I couldn't give less of a crap about score, so I'm perfectly happy to use cannibalism in order to increase my odds of success. At the moment, though, we're only going to be getting 2 new events. We were able to fix up all the events from the previous rounds, and we still have 2 food here. So I'm going to just let the dice fall where they may. Har, 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 har. Not because I care about minus points at the end, but because everybody's got a pretty decent chunk of stress, and I want to give myself the flexibility to take events later on where, you know, you expend stress or have a character gain stress in exchange for some benefit. I don't want to close the door on that by cannibalizing early. And again, we do still have the food here. So all the characters that are missing 2 pips will be in a position to get a bonus from food next time with the foods giving 3 pips. Let's go ahead and finish here without doing any eating and get 2 new events. Alright, so we got some tough-ass events here. This thing, every time you roll a 3 or a 6, you take a damage. That can be really, really miserable. And it's got a pretty high repair value, 16. Now, there's a couple things that we could do. So one thing that we can do is there is a room here, this laboratory, where if you expend a die value 5 or higher, you max out your assists. So I can try to use the assists to block some of the incoming damage. So what I'm going to do here, and the thing is, your assists cap out at 3, so if I do it now, I'm essentially wasting a point of value. So we're going to go ahead and have the mechanic try his luck here. It's possible that with good rolls, he can actually fix this thing up. We'll see how it goes. Oh god, this is not looking good. Okay, I managed to avoid injury, but I did not roll very good numbers. So what I'm going to do here is apply a couple of 1s and harvest a food. And then I'm going to re-roll the other dice. Actually, the 4 I'm going to spend because it's better than average, but I'm going to re-roll these 2s even though I'm risking injury because it's very likely I can get a better result than those 2s. All right, so I take a damage from the 6, but it's blocked by the assist. Definitely going to spend the 6 there. Now the question is, do I spend the 2 here or do I apply the 2 to research? I figure somebody's going to go here, so and I can't fix this thing, so I'm going to go ahead and apply the 2 to research and finish the mechanics deployment. Now, if somebody were to go here, they would have to pass through this room and they would take a damage. So the question is, who do I want coming here? Well, I could have the captain go here and with a bit of luck fix the event and use the captain's class ability to give the mechanic back 1 die, and also the captain would then stay at 3 dice. So that's one option. I could have the doctor move in here simply on the grounds that the doctor has the most hit points, so the doctor can most afford to take a damage and fix up this event. I could have the captain and or the specialist go here and try to fix this event so the doctor could maybe move through without taking damage. That's another option that I could take. So there's lots of different ways I could try to plan out this event. Now next round I'm getting only 2 events, by the look of things, 1 easy one and 1 hard one. So I could leave this open. That's another option. I mean, I do have 1 point of hull to spare, so I could also leave this open. There's lots of different ways I could try to go about this. What I'm thinking though here is I do have 3 food. Each of these characters is going to be down to 2 dice next time, so I could feed them all the food that I have. And I don't have to worry about using the captain's ability that much. So really my main concern is just finishing up this event, maybe with a little bit of luck here. There's I think, what, like a 1? Or I think a 1 die would actually be able to grow me another food here. It's actually kind of good that this event is in life support, because here I could actually potentially regain some dice for one of the character who goes in, and then I don't have to feed them. That character would spend an action to go down to 2 dice and then do that ability and go back up to 4, and then I wouldn't have to worry about it anymore. So anyway, lots of different things to think about here. It's definitely a tricky situation. What I'm going to do here is, I think I am going to fix this event and then have somebody go here and fix that event. I believe that 2 characters going in here should be able to fix this thing up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ignore I'm not going to have anyone stay here to try to cap out the assists. I'm just going to let people take the damage. We'll have, I think, the specialist come in here first and roll some bones. Alright, so she hits a 5, which is a damage. Luckily, though, I got a 6 and a 5, so we can apply them here. And now I have a choice. I can either roll this, and there's a 50-50 chance that I can actually finish this event all by herself, or I can plop a die in here and just get 2 dice back. I think I'm going to roll this. 50-50 chance of fixing this is pretty good. I did take another injury, which is not good, because now she's down to 1 health, but we finished the event, and now we can finish the deployment. Now what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to have the doctor go here, and really my main aim is to actually heal Allison, the specialist here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to roll the doctor's dice. I'm looking for a 5 or a higher. Oh god, that was terrible. Did not happen. Did not happen at all, in the slightest. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and re-roll that, hoping for a 5 or a 6. There we go. I cannot apply these 2 and 1 to research, so unfortunately that means that they're going to be wasted. We're going to go ahead and put a 1 here. Oh, I'm an idiot. Hang on. I could actually have... Yeah, let's do this. I'm going to do a quick patch. Spend these 2 dice, and then apply the 2 here. Perfect. I could have also then applied the 1 here and then gotten Choice Harvest for an extra food. That might have been smarter to see what new research came up before I applied the die there. So a little bit of a sloppy play. Let's go ahead and finish that deployment, though. Now, next round, the specialist will eat some food, and so the captain might as well go here There is some risk in rolling these dice. I mean, if all three of these dice are 3s and 6s, the captain will die right now. That's the the chance that you take. In fact, why don't we go ahead and use this small kit to heal up the doctor, or the captain. It's important to have, I think, a healthy captain on hand. And roll some bones. All right, got lucky here. Did not roll any 3s or 6s. So what I'm going to do here is fix the event. And now I have a choice. I can either roll this for a 1 in 6 shot of getting an extra food, or I can just apply it to get an extra die to the mechanic and the captain. I think we'll go ahead and do that and finish the deployment. So all in all, it's pretty decent. Next round, we're going to only have 2 events to deal with. And everybody's in pretty decent shape. Okay, so this is one of those cases, by the way, where if this event is not chosen, the people get stressed out. They get 10 stress for not choosing the event, because if you basically, like, chose not to give them their way. Let's take a look at what this is. So this would actually kill my specialist. I don't know why that's an option, but I'm not going to go ahead and take that option, although it would be nice for these people to get a die. I don't want these specialists to die. So no real choice here. We're going to go ahead and lose some stress. Notice the stress values for the mechanic and the captain go way down, which is nice. The specialist and the doctor get more stressed out, but I really don't have a choice because I don't want to kill the specialist. So this is one of those cases where you can see how having health actually can make a difference. Okay, let's go ahead and feed a food to the specialist. Now, we have an option. I could have the captain go all Lord of the Flies here. Actually, did the kids eat each other in Lord of the Flies? I don't think they did. They just killed each other. They didn't eat each other. Now, we can go all Donner Party up in here and do some cannibalization. Now, again, you do get negative points for doing this. And right now, I probably don't need to do this in order to win. So, just in your game, if you're someone who cares about score, then, like, you probably don't want to do this right now. But because I do not care about score, and the captain just lost a whole lot of stress, we're going to go ahead and show off cannibalism. And by the way, watch the captain's face. I love the faces that they make when you feed them the food. Like, I'm meaty. Okay, so we're doing pretty good here. Everybody's got, like, all filled up on dice except for the doctor. We have food and meat to spare. Everybody's stress levels are okay. Really, health is kind of the issue. Allison is a little bit unhealthy. So you have to watch out for injury events. And holy shit, do we have some injury events going on here. What I'm going to do is, while I have assists up, I'm going to have Allison, the specialist, go over here and hopefully not take any damage. Because hopefully she does not roll 5 5s and die. If she did roll 3 5s, she would die. The assist that we have right now would block one of them, and the other 2 would get through and kill her. But hopefully that doesn't happen. Yahtzee! Alright, there is 2 5s here, so one of them gets blocked, the other one hits her. Now, we have to think about how to use our dice here. There's actually some significant options. Obviously, I can fix this event with a 6 and the 4, let's say, and then use the 2 5s to get food. But everybody's doing real great on dice. I don't actually care that much about food at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to spend the 2 5s to fix this. And then I'm going to apply the 3 and the 4 in order to get some more research. Actually, I made a mistake. I should have used a 5 and a 6, and then I would have had a 5 to use on research. As it is, we're going to have to now re-roll this, hoping to get a 1, a 2, or a 5. Oh, an embarrassment of riches here. No, I really messed up. This die has a very reason... Okay, I got lucky and rolled a 1, but because of that misplay, there's a chance that die would have been wasted. Now, what I like about this a lot is that there's this MCC override, which applies 17 repair to a module. That's really great, because I do not want to be rolling a whole lot of dice here, since 2s, 3s, 4s, basically half the dice that you could possibly roll injure you. I mean, you could very realistically take, like, 3 hits of damage. 4 if you're unlucky. But obviously, we want to put this out. There's still a bunch of rounds to go. I don't want to be taking 2 damage every round. And with this research available to me, I can just roll 1 time, hopefully dodge a bullet, and then just all I have to do is apply 5 points of repair to this, and I can put out this fire. So we're going to go ahead and have the doctor go here, simply because the doctor is currently the healthiest. And we're going to close our eyes, hold our breath, and roll them bones. All right, 2s, 3s, 4s are bad. All right, took 2 damage, but hey, could be worse. Okay, so what we can do here is I'm going to actually just do this first, because I'm definitely doing this. So let's just do this right now. And now we need 5 points. So there's a couple different ways to get there. I could do 4 and a 1. And then I have a 6 left over, so the doctor could heal herself by 1. What I'm actually going to do, though, is I'm going to spend the 6 here to max out our assists. This is wasting a little bit of value, so had I had the doctor go here first, it would have been a little bit better. It was wasting a little bit of value, but now, because every round you gain 1 assist back, and now we're maxed out, so next round we're just effectively going to gain nothing. But still, it's going to be nice having 3 assists going into the next round, and I'm going to re-roll this 2. There's no harm to it at all. If I roll a 5 or a 6, I could choose to spend it here. Otherwise, my research queue is empty, so I can just go ahead and pop it in. Okay, things are looking pretty good here. I could actually spend this research point to re-roll the research, because I'm fine with the hull. I'm probably not going to want to spend 5 research points to fix the hull. Preventing void is actually probably the best one here. That's definitely a lifesaver sometimes. Plus 1 food I don't care about. We're great on dice. We got 2 food. At the moment, I'm not going to commit to that, though, because the void might be nice. Maybe I'll re-roll if the replacement doesn't do anything. So here we're in a pretty enviable position where there's no events that need to be dealt with. In the next round, of course, we're going to have 2 difficult events and a medium difficulty event. So things are going to get pretty crazy here. And now you have to decide how you want to spend your time. So you can either go to life support and regain dice, which doesn't do anything, really. Because, I mean, I guess you could have the mechanic go here, hoping for a 5 or a 6 to fix a hull, and then pop a die in here to regain his die. It seems kind of weird. You could go here, try to do some hull repair. The movement damage, I believe, only applies for the current round, although I guess I could definitely be wrong about that. Or we could go here and we could regain stress. I'm going to go ahead and, so I think the main options are to either regain health or to reduce stress. Since we're pretty healthy here, maybe it would have been smarter to have, let's say, like the mechanic go over here and fix us, and the doctor could have stayed here and healed everybody by 1. Might have been smarter. I'm going to have the mechanic go here, and what I'm really hoping for are 2 dice of 5 or higher. So I could spend 1 to fix the hull and 1 to reduce stress. Okay, that's perfect. So we'll do this and this. We get a hull point, and the rest of it, all I just want really is research, because there's nothing else to do. So we're going to pop these dice in here, and I have a 50-50 chance of getting an extra research die. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out. I could spend all these research points to gain a food, but I would then be going from 3 down to 1. I'd actually rather waste the die than get an extra food, because we're already pretty good on food and everybody's dice are pretty high. So the captain can do a couple things. I can go here, and this stress has already been used, so I can't use that, but I could maybe give an extra die to the mechanic, so the mechanic goes into the next round with 5 dice. Not particularly concerned about that. I think the main thing for me to do here is to try to do some hull repair. You know, I really should know the rules. I should know whether the flight control applies to the next round or not, because it would be nice to have no movement damage next round, but I believe it's only in the current round. Tell me in the comments, shout at me if I am wrong. Alright, so these are weird looking dice now because the captain is a cannibal. What I'm going to do here is put a 3 and a 3 in here in order to fix 2 points of hull damage. We're going to use the 5 to give back the die the captain spent. We're going to use the 1 to get another research point, so now we can prevent void in a later event. And 5 is a nice roll because we get another research point. So we got a lot of research points here. Don't care about the hull, obviously doing great on hull. Don't care about food either, because I'm fine about food, although obviously I could always get another one. So either I have to commit to using 5 of these 6 dice to prevent void at some point, or I can spend 1 of these research points to reroll and maybe get some better stuff. I'd like to see more repair research. That's really great sometimes for those really, really tough events where you need to hit a high number. You can save yourself a lot of crew turns by not actually like repairing 23 points and instead repairing like 6 like we did in the previous event. But I'm not going to reroll now. We can reroll next round after seeing what the new events are. Okay, now we have a choice here. We can get an extra assist and everybody gets 10 stress, which is terrible because we have maxed out assists. We can get an extra food and these 2 people lose a die, which is bad because I'm already doing great on food. Let me think about this. This is not a good situation. I mean, I can either just get 10 stress, or I can have these people lose a die and get a food. I guess that's better, but we did not get particularly great events that time. Okay, so we can have the mechanic get a little bit cannibalistic because he's completely low on stress, and again, because I do not care about score, I'm gonna have him do that. Let's go ahead and get some prime ribeye here. Let's look at his face. All right, I'm cool with it. Okay, so that was about how much stress you get for doing that. I don't want Kayla Jones to take any meat because she's already pretty stressed out, and I want to have that flexibility in later times. I did get a food from the thing that I didn't want to pick. So I'm just going to use that food, even though I'm wasting some of the value, because the next round's going to be a pretty tough one, and I want people to have as many dice as possible. So there's 3 different events here, and we have 3 assists. So we have to think very carefully about the order in which we tackle these events, because the assists will get used up on basically the first event that happens. So the thing that I'm most concerned about is probably this event right here, because there's a void, and I don't think I want to do the air check. I think I am going to spend a research point right now to to shuffle these research things and hopefully get some repair. Unfortunately, no. Snack's all right, giving an extra die to the active crew member. We'll definitely be using that. Sedatives are actually pretty fine as well, so I might be able to do both this round. Prevent stasis is also an interesting one. So here, that might not be a bad call. Might have to delay my snacking and my sedatives, because not having my 2s and 3s frozen would actually be really, really spectacular. This, I believe, only applies... I believe this only applies to 1 event. Oh god, if I'm wrong about that, that would be really annoying. Because I want to go here, but I don't want my assists to be wasted on stasis. You know what? Let's go ahead and do it for science. Let's see what happens. So it says prevent stasis. Is there a tooltip telling me how long that lasts for? Nope. Okie dokie. Well, let's go ahead and check out this IFXH fail. This is 23. We didn't get any repair research, so we're going to have to do this ye old-fashioned way. Silva, I believe, would take 2 damage because she leaves the room and passes to another one. And she can't do that because she's down to 1 health, so she's definitely in rough shape. She's probably going to just end up staying here and rolling this. Now, that's interesting, because maybe I should use the assists on her, since if she ever rolls a 3, she just straight up frickin' dies. This is a very interesting situation. I'm actually not quite sure. But the best order in which to do things, definitely the specialist's health is starting to be a concern. At least the next round, we just get 1 easy event and a hard one, so if we can take out these, I could be fine. I can actually strategically, like, leave one of them alone and just take the damage. Basically, this thing is going to deal damage 5 times, which over the course of the next few rounds. So in theory, I could actually take that. Oh, man. Did I really not have any healing? Oh, yeah, I used healing on someone else. The doctor would have to take 2 damage to get over here to try to do this event, to try to heal Silva, which at that point the doctor's dying. So I don't think that's actually a particularly good use of my time. All right, not sure if this is the right move, but I'm just going to keep it simple. We're going to have the doctor go here. At least the stasis is blocked. 4s are voided, which is obviously terrible. But we do have 3 assists to block some of that. Okay, so the stasis was blocked by the event. 2 of the assists got used up, blocking the void and the injury. So this was actually a pretty damn good roll. I've got 22 on my dice right here, and I'm just going to take it. I don't mind if this event can go away. So I have a 66% chance of rolling a 3 or higher and fixing this event. Thank goodness. Didn't even waste my last assist. Nice. Okay, so that event is taken care of. Now, we definitely want to take care of this event. So the question is, who goes first, the mechanic or the captain? Well, I think the mechanic should go first for sure, because, wait a minute, hang on. Do I try to take care of this thing? If I roll 2 3s, I will die. She can't get over here to heal herself in life support. So yeah, her health has become a real issue. Now what I could do is I could have the captain and the mechanic take a damage to go in here and have them try to fix it. Then Allison could do what? I mean, she could roll her dice here and give us some more food. She could, I don't know, go over to flight control to get no movement damage. That seems pretty stupid. Yeah, I think we actually want this. I'm gonna go and have, let's see, probably the mechanic. Go there, take a damage for his trouble, and roll some bones. Some meaty bones now. Alright, it's a pretty good roll. The stasis is blocked, so that does last for the entire round, which is pretty darn good. And let's see, what do we got here? We got 10, 18, so I could just throw everything in here and fix this event. And I think I'm going to do it. The one I'm going to use... I guess I should just re-roll it. You want... Like, all else being equal, you want to put higher... Like, if it doesn't matter at all, you want to put higher dice in here, because higher dice are less likely to be left over to use on a research project, whereas lower dice are. So we're going to go ahead and put in a research project there. We can get an assist now. I'm going to think about that actually on the next person's round. And so now we got this event. Again, it'd be a little bit risky for Allison to go here because any 2-4s that she rolls will kill her. However, there is a research giving us an assist, so I think I'm actually going to do that. She'd have to roll 3 4s to die, thanks to this hack. So I'm going to go ahead and do that there. No movement damage. That actually could be useful in a later round. So as long as she does not roll 3 4s, she's good. Roll over 4. Okay, good. So here, I think I'm just going to try to finish up this event. I don't want to be taking 2 hull damage. And if I fix up all the hull damage events here, then it's much more likely that in future rounds when there's a hull damage event, I can just ignore it and not care. All right, that was pretty much the perfect thing I could have asked for. So now we're going to have the captain go pretty much wherever he wants. I might as well just go here and finish this event. And it's a pretty good room to be in because the captain can refresh his own dice quite substantially. Perfect. So we're going to go ahead and finish up the event. Spend a 5 to give back a die to the specialist. Spend a 1 to give back a die to the captain. There we go. And then spend the 4 on research. There we go. Perfect. So we got some progress towards snack and suppression, which I might want to use at some point. The events have all been fixed. And we're doing really great on the hull. So that's cool because now if there are other events that come in that damage the hull, I can just ignore them as long as they don't destroy the ship. And the only thing that those events do is deal damage to people moving through. Okay, so we can get 2 extra assists at the expense of a hull. That's pretty damn good. Or 1 hull for 10. Okay, that's an easy choice. This one's pretty easy. You don't need to be a pro player for this one. We're doing fine on the hull. So we definitely want to lose the hull and get 2 extra assists to help us out in the next round. No need to eat anything. I mean, you can see this game, like, you can say that I've been pretty lucky because I've definitely had some good rolls. I've also had some bad rolls. So the game's not like crazy tough on normal difficulty. We are, doing fine on food. No need for cannibalism at the moment. The main issue right now is health, so it'd be nice if the specialist could get a little bit of healing. But let's see what happens. Okay. Not a terrible roll here. This is a pretty trivial event. I mean, 5s get voided. Obviously, that's bad. This event is the problem because it deals 2 damage to everybody, and we're a little bit too far out from Mars to ignore this, so we really do need to fix this thing. But every 3 that is rolled deals 2 damage. So these assists are going to get eaten through pretty darn fast. So I need to pick very carefully who goes in here. If somebody rolls 2 3s, they will actually end up taking a damage through all these assists. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have the captain go in, which may seem a little bit weird. Why not have like the mechanic go and then have the captain come in afterwards to give an extra die? Thing is, I just want the captain, with a little bit of luck, to actually fix this or come almost all the way to fixing it. And this room is the one where you can recharge your assists. So what I'm hoping can happen here is that the captain rolls some dice. Oh god, and can spend 1 to increase assists. Unfortunately, the captain rolled 2 4s and 3 1s, which means he cannot use this ability. He didn't take any damage, so that's good. I guess I'm going to spend 2 4s because those are above average. But I'm going to reroll these 1s, taking my chances, hoping to get a 5 or a 6. Okay, I did, but I didn't actually roll any 3s. Interesting. That was a pretty good roll, so we can actually fix this event single-handedly. That's quite fortunate. Didn't get to use the captain's class ability, but that's fine. So he didn't take any damage, and we have all of our assists. Hey, that's awesome. All right, in that case, the specialist could actually go here and try to get some healing from the medical bay. That's definitely very tempting. Somebody then needs to fix this. It's either going to be the doctor or the mechanic. While the doctor can come in here, heal herself in the medical bay, and herself again, perhaps, and the specialist. So that's probably the plan. So what I'm going to do first then is have the mechanic go over here and see if he can fix this up by himself. Roll them meaty bones. All right, so one of the assists blocks the void. Perfect. Let me think about this. So if I do the 5 and the 3 to fix this, which would kind of be the obvious way of doing it, I don't get to use the mechanic's class ability. However, that does mean I get to put a die in here for research and roll the other die. It's actually kind of an interesting situation. If I use the other 3 to fix it, I can get an extra hull. Don't really care about hull at this point. I don't care about the hull. I don't care about that. So I really don't care about this hull repair. What I really want is to get as much research as possible. So, okay, we'll just do it the simple way then. We're going to do 5, but not the 3. We're going to actually over commit it and do the 4. That way I'm guaranteed to be able to place the 2 and the 3, 2 dice into research. There. Okay. Next up is the specialist, who's going to go to medical bay. Oh yeah, the doctor won't be able to use this. Right, but the specialist hopefully will. Okay, perfect. And she can spend a die on research. And then we're just hoping for 5s and 6s to spend on research. Didn't happen. And didn't happen. See, we wasted 2 dice. So I'm not always lucky. I'm not always lucky. Now, I could actually do some research. I could do these sedatives, but then I only get 1 research back. I don't think it's actually worth it. So we're going to waste 2 of her dice. And now the doctor's going to go here. Wait a minute. Oh, I did not know the rules. That recovers all your health. Well, then, I did not know that. So we have some options with this doctor. The doctor is just free to do whatever the hell. The doctor can go here, try to reduce some stress. The doctor can go here and heal herself, and then put another die into life support and get up to 5 dice. We'll do that. I think stress should be fine at this point. Especially because we have the sedatives if it does get, you know, bad. So I'm looking for a 5 or 6 and any other die. Now we're going to roll these, hoping for 5s and 6s to add to research. And it doesn't happen. There's nothing I really want to spend here, so we're just going to let those dice be wasted. I wasted some dice there. Maybe there's a way to do that better. Order it better to reduce the odds of it happening. But we're still in pretty good shape. Now, let's take some options here. So 2 characters can lose a die each, but then we don't take any movement damage this round. Or everybody can gain a health, but those 2 characters lose a die each. So would I rather have no movement damage or +1 health? Let's have the health up front. Well, hang on a second. Hang on a second. So if I do this, that could have... Right now, one of my characters is at full health. So if I do this, I might actually save more health in the long run than if I do this. And this way, it's a bit more... Nah, it's about the same. Alright, we're going to go for the health right now. So as long as I move through events, you know, 3 or less times, it's the same thing. And that way, if I don't ever need to move through events, I still get the health bonuses. Okay, so here, these guys are decent enough stress levels that I could actually feed them some meat. It's an interesting idea. It'd be nice to be in our tip-top, you know, finest shape going into the next event. But it would also be nice to not have so much stress. On the other hand, I might be able to use my research to reduce stress. If I do that, I'm an idiot. I should have done that last time, and then I wouldn't have had all those dice being wasted, not being able to put on research. So, okay, we'll not eat the meat. We'll leave them with 3 dice apiece and see what these events are. Okay, so there's 3 different events here. Right now, we only have to survive a few more rounds. So I could actually leave this one alone and just not care about it. This one obviously needs to be taken care of. So what I think I'm going to do is have somebody take out this area and then work on fixing this LCB error. And I'm just going to leave this thing alone because it's going to deal 1, 2, 3 damage. So as long as I have, you know, 3 points of hull to spare, this thing is not going to be a big deal. If the round ends up going great, I guess I could fix that, you know, just for the hell of it. So we'll have the mechanic go here first and see what he gets. Actually, why don't we have a snack, shall we? Yeah, let's have a snack. Boink. Have an extra die, buddy. +2 assist. That could be handy. Alright. So I used up all the assists, unfortunately, keeping those dice safe. We're going to go ahead and use that. Now, I could throw all these dice in here and fix it, but I'm going to take my chances. I used up all the assists. Might as well make the most of it and hope I can get some luck. Okay. So what I think I'm going to do here is use the 5. Wait a minute. If I use both... No, I think I want to use... I don't care about the hull. I'm going to use the 5 to fix that event, and I'm going to put a 4 in here to get back the mechanic's dice. This 4, unfortunately, is... Wait for it. Wasted! I could actually use the override to get back 2 assists and then put the 4 in there. Yeah, that's only spending 1 die. I think that's worth it. So we're going to finish the deployment. And now we're in much better shape for fixing this place because we have 2 assists to block some of this stasis. Let's go ahead and have the specialist jump in there. See what she can do. I mean, the more 1s and 2s and 3s she rolls, the worse this is. But if she rolls a lot of 5s and 6s, we can actually be in pretty good shape. Alright, so let's definitely put the 6 and the 5 up here. And see where we're at. So I could throw all these dice in here, but again, we'll take another roll just to see if I can get like a single good 5. So now that's frozen. Alright, we will do it like this. And pop the 3 into research. Perfect. Health kits, that's a nice one to have. Alright, next up we have the doctor and the captain. So the captain will take a point of damage if he comes out of here, though he does have plenty of health, so he could do that. We could just say fuck it and just fix this thing. This is the room where you max out your assists. So yeah, why not? Why not just have the doctor go here and fix it? I mean, like, it's not that I care about it that much, but I might as well, because there's just not a lot going on. Alright, the 4 is voided. I did get lucky, though. I'm getting a 6 and a 5. Now let's re-roll the 3 and the 1, because I have a pretty decent chance of getting a 5 or higher on 2 dice. Perfect, so we can fix this and add a 1 to research. Great. So now the captain can do whatever he wants. He can stay where he is to try to get the assists and then refill the doctor's die. I think we'll just do that. There's probably some other things to consider, but I think I'm on track to win this, so I'm just going to play a little bit fast and loose. Okay, so what matters more, the assists or getting back a die? Well, I'm doing really well on food, so the captain's in position right now to eat a food and get up to 3, so I'm valuing the assists more. Now I'm going to re-roll these 2 dice and hopefully get a 5 or higher. Perfect. Now, do I want to use these research project, one of these research projects so that I can put this die in here? Well, I could get no movement damage, which I don't know if it'll carry over to the next round, or this, which doesn't matter because people are in pretty good health, so we're just going to waste that die because that is apparently how I like to play this game. Alright, that's the round. And we have a choice. We can either get a food and lose 2 hull, which I don't care that much about the hull, but I don't care that much about food either. Or we can just get some stress relief. However, these people are being bitches, and they'll get more stressed out because their thing wasn't chosen. Let me think about this. I'm going to go ahead and take the stress, and then I do have that one research that reduces stress for everybody, so we'll just use that if we need to. The captain could eat some more meat. I don't think I need to, though, and I might as well keep the stress lower. So we'll just do that. Now we've got 3 new events. So the last week always has only 1 event. So this is going to be like our last really difficult week. At this point, we have to decide, you know, what actually matters. I'm pretty sure this thing does not matter. I'm just going to leave this alone. But these 2 things I might as well try to fix up. So we're going to go ahead and use up our assists in this area first for a couple of reasons. Number 1, this is the room that has the ability to get back the assists. And number 2, I got 2 characters already here, so if I were to leave, I would take some damage. Okay, who goes first? I guess the doctor should go first. Deploy and roll them bones. Nice, clean, white, conscience-free bones. Alright, so we'll definitely drop the 5 and the 4 in here. And I think these are worth re-rolling because they're below average, so we might as well, you know, see if we can improve. Mathematically, we're likely to improve. So we take a damage, which is fine. The doctor's super hardy. Now, let's think about this. The 3 and the 1 are not going to fix this event, but there's nowhere else for them to go either. So I either have to use some research, or I have to throw them in. Well, none of the research I particularly care about right here. Yeah, so we're just going to throw them in there, even though it's not the greatest use of the dice. Okay, at this point, we'll have the captain. 3 dice should be fine for fixing this thing. The question, of course, is do I want to have somebody else come in so that they're more likely to get the assists back? That's kind of the option. You know what? All this stuff is damage. There's not that much of it. I don't actually care that much about the assists. I just want the captain. So the idea here is that hopefully the captain gets a 5 or a 6, and on the other dice can get a 5 or higher, which is exactly what happens. So what we're going to do here is put the 6. It doesn't matter what I do. Put the 6 there, 5 there, roll the 1. I have a 50-50 chance of being able to add to research. Perfect. So we'll do this. And I think I'm actually just going to go ahead and take these sedatives to see what the next research item is. +1 die to all crew. Very nice. All right, well, might be using that at some point. Okay, so now I'm ignoring this because it only deals 1 damage per round, and so it's only going to deal 2 damage total. I could actually ignore this as well, but I mean, I might as well fix it, right? Like, what's the reason to not fix it? So we're gonna have the mechanic go in first. Actually, no, we're gonna have the specialist going first. She's rolling fewer dice, and she has more health, so this is less risky overall. If this had 2 injury events or something, I might have cared more about refueling my assist, but with just 1, I'm not that concerned. Notice she actually takes some stress. This is not exactly documented in the game, but when you have stuff like that happen, you do gain stress. So if you're like, you have a character who's like super high up there on the stress meter, you're not like safe. You can't just be like, oh, well, I'll just ignore all stress gaining, you know, side projects between missions and I'll be fine. Like, you can still gain stress. But anyway, we got a, well, pretty good roll, I gotta say. So now let's re-roll this 3, because we might as well. 4, okay, and we'll pop that 4 into the next research project. Okay, so I really, like, aggressively do not care about this tank fail. The mechanic can do a couple different things. He can go here, try to harvest some food. He can reduce his stress. He can try to get the assists back for the next round. I'm not concerned about food. We're doing really great on food, so we're going to go here, actually, with the mechanic, which, had I known, I would have had the captain go after the mechanic. The mechanic's main goal here is to get a 5 or higher to max out our assists for the next round. So we'll do this. We'll, you know what? I actually really don't care about the hull. We're just gonna put that into research, and yeah, let's re-roll these. I'm looking for some 1s, 2s, and 5s. I got a 4 and a 6. Nice. Okay. Well, at this point, I might as well pop in some health kits, so I can actually use this 4 and the 6. +3 health active crew member. Very nice. So you can see on normal difficulty, you know, the game is challenging, but it's easy enough that, you know, we've had quite a few situations where people had turns to spare. So even if I hadn't been as lucky in some of my rolls, those extra turns that I had to spare, I could have used to finish some of these objectives. Okay, so +1 hull, 20% stress for all crew. That's clearly just abysmally terrible. So what we're gonna do is go here, have these people lose a health, which is not the end of the world at all, and get an extra food, which isn't that great either. But it is the last mission, so does food give you bonus points at the end of the game? I don't actually know if it does. I think food might give you some bonus points, so I'm not going to use it because there's only 1 event in the final round. And the way the final round works is that you want all your crew to survive the mission, and in order to do that, they need to be in flight control when the game ends. So basically, like, you don't actually want to have a crew member fixing any of these events, because if you do, then they're going to die, and at the end of the game, you get the maximum number of points by having all of your crew there. So all we really care about is just having everybody deploy here, and I guess be as healthy as possible. I don't know. One cool thing is, though, that if there is somebody here, they can use this thing, this movement damage thing, which is the ability of the module. So it's kind of ends up being very thematic, which is that, like, you have somebody here to make nobody take movement damage by moving through events, and then everybody else can get here without any risk. So, yeah, we got a bunch of research here. I don't know if you get, like, dice or anything, but everybody's just about maxed health, and I guess I could re-roll this to see if I get some technology, but I don't really care that much about score and stuff, so, like, whatever. We'll just, let's see, max out the research. Now, suppose we'll give a die to all crew. Prevent injury. All right, this is clearly completely useless, so we're just going to go ahead and reshuffle. Stasis, health all crew, and minus stress to all crew. All right. So let's finish deployment. I like call home. I don't think that that's like a thing. I don't think you can actually call home now. Meaty. Oh, wow. That was a roll. That was a roll for the ages. For sure. Glad I wasn't rolling that like that earlier. All right, so we'll do this. Put the 5 on here. Get everybody some stress relief. I guess we'll give everybody some... I think everybody's almost at full health. I can't do the repair arm, though. So I guess we're doing some health kits. +1 die active crew member. Very nice. All right, so now the captain goes in here. And did not get a 5, unfortunately, so we'll try one more time. I love those blood splatters. There we go. So we're going to give everybody a die. We'll do some research. Sure, we'll give a die to the captain herself. +1 health, active crew member. Alas, the captain's all filled up. Actually, the captain lost a maximum health by going all cannibalistic, so that, you know, affected things. I guess we'll shuffle these, and there's nothing else to do. So we finished the deployment, and the round ends. So we actually ended up having food left over and assists left over. You do lose points for having events, so I could have tried to fix that one random event, just so I had more points at the end. But that's Tharsis. So in future videos, I'm going to be playing on hard difficulty, because as you can see, normal, you know, with any amount of luck is really not too bad. We'll see. I haven't played on hard yet, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some hard research off camera here and actually figure out if I can do it. But we'll try it. If we fail, then we fail. But we'll see how it goes. Can I skip all this stuff? So actually, you know, I say I don't care about the score. I say that I don't care, but you know, I do care. So okay, so we have you know, you lose 20 points for every time you do a human meal. You lose 10 points for every event that you don't deal with. And I don't know what this is, what the formula is, but you lose some number of points for stress, I guess. Seems like 3% points per stress, rounded up. But yeah, so that's the game. My friend Jeff, I believe, has beaten me. This is what my highest score, 1709. By the way, I'm done. If you want to leave, thanks for watching. Please like and or subscribe. But if you want to see, you know, some dicking around, my friend Jeff, who gave me this game, what is this? These are stats. No, I want to see scores. There we go. As my friend, so he's gotten up to 1782, which is really, really good. What about me? Where do I see my high score? Oh, here we go. Wait. Oh, I see. I see. These are all, there's 10 different missions which I will plan to do. But I see. I didn't actually realize this worked this way. Okay, let's go back. I see. So these are scores on easy. And I want to see my friends. I see. So this is my two friends who are playing on easy. He got a 1782. And then on normal, okay. So on normal, I managed to beat my friend Jeff so far. And then on hard, none of my friends have played on hard. Okay, so that'll be interesting to see what happens. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon. Take care.